Hello, friends. Very nice to see you all here at Sahaja Online, and welcome. My name is Mariana Svarnik, and we are already in our fifth part of our Introduction to Sahaja series. So today we'll talk a little bit and then meditate in, hopefully in depth on the second and third energy centers. Now, if you have any questions about your meditation at home or what happened last week, what is working, what's not working, anything at all, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I will address them as they come up. And also, if any questions arise during the week, please feel free to email. It is sometimes very helpful to get a reply within a day instead of waiting for the Thursday to arrive. So please feel free to ask any questions also during week by email. So the second and the third energy centers. Now it seems like there is a lot to cover here, and one of the reasons that I decided to cover them in one session as opposed to separate sessions is that the second and the third center form a bit of a system. So what is happening in the subtle body is that while the third center, like all other centers, remains sort of in the same position, it rotates, but it remains in the same position more or less. The second energy center actually moves around the third center almost like a satellite, as if it was suspended on a cord. And while it's moving, it creates this area that we call the void. And this is the area where the guru principle decides, or the principle of self-mastery. And so it is the principle that resides in the area created by the two energy centers, the second and the third one. Now, in general, the second energy center is responsible for any sort of action, it has this quality or gives us the quality of creativity. And it also is sort of responsible for the creation of life in general in the sort of history of the universe. So the creativity is achieved through the second energy center or any sort of action. And so you can see that our right channel, this yellow channel here, it starts from the second energy center because the right channel is the channel of action. It is the channel of any sort of activity, both physical and mental activity, any sort of doing. And so while it is, it is wonderfully dynamic, the second energy center, also because it moves, it has the sort of, the danger is, or a tendency of this energy center is to go very easily out of balance because it is not stationed in any sort of particular spot. And so this is where the third energy center helps it because it keeps it from sort of flying off the orbit, right? It keeps it stable. So the third energy center has several main qualities. And it is on one hand responsible for the balance and for the stability. It is responsible for most of our action that has to do with digestion and growth also. But it is a kind of growth that comes from absorption, not from movement, right? So it is not a change of location. It is the growth while being in the same position. And so in its sort of highest quality, it gives us the desire and the ability to grow spiritually. It is responsible for the evolution, and it is the power of evolution in the universe. So while the level of the second energy center is where the life is created, at the level of the third energy center is where the life is evolving, is changing, is growing, is becoming more complex, and from a simple cell we end up being human beings, very sophisticated organisms, and very amazing. And so this power of evolution that actually is responsible for that, for creating these sophisticated forms of life, like we are. Now, something else that this third energy center gives us, and this is something that also is, again, connected to that principle of self-mastery, principle of the guru. It gives us the awareness of righteousness, the awareness of what is right and what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done. And so that sort of ethical awareness or moral awareness is what is, in a way, a step for our evolution. A step for us to actually become human beings is when we become aware of what is right or wrong, what is good and what is evil. And so, as you can see, it's a very complex area, right? In terms of sort of physical functions or physiological functions, these centers support all of our reproductive functions, all of our digestive functions. The main organ on the right side here is the liver, and both of these centers support the liver. Liver is quite a large organ, and liver is one of those organs in our body that might have the most functions than any other organ. It has thousands of functions, really, from purifying blood, storing and transforming sugar and fat, creating enzymes and all kinds of hormonal functions, and supporting digestion, and supporting the sort of the purification or taking out of any sort of poisons and things like that out of the system. So this is the function on the right side, that is of the liver, that is supported by both of these energy centers, right? So there is all of that. And then, of course, all the organs in this area, right? We have stomach, and we have spleen, and we have intestines, and all of those, and some of the reproductive or parts of reproductive organs, they're all supported by these centers. Now, in terms of us feeling the blockages in the centers, the second energy center we feel in our thumbs. So our right thumb, if we feel heat or tingling in the right thumb, that indicates that the right side of our second energy center is blocked, or there is some blockage or some sort of impurity and needs to be cleared out or balanced. And so you can see number 2 is here, corresponds to the thumb. If we feel the left thumb, then this is the second energy center on the left. If we feel tingling or heat in both, then that refers to the center aspect. So the center aspect combines both left and right. And then the third energy center we feel in the middle finger. So if we feel heat or tingling on the right side, right middle finger, that's the right side of this third energy center, the Nabi chakra, it's called. The second energy center is called Swadhisthana chakra. And if we feel the middle finger on the left hand, it's the left side of this energy center. And if we feel both, then the whole third energy center requires some balancing, requires some clearing out. Now, so in an email that I will send by the end of the weekend, and hopefully sooner if I get to it, I will list for you all of these things. Okay, what to do if you feel this tingling or heat or tingling in this finger, or this finger, or this, or this, or this, right? And so this is sort of a lot of the stuff, but basically the way it works is that you don't really need to learn all of this, right? Until you feel heat or tingling in the particular finger, you don't need to do anything with that, right? It's not like you will need to go and through all of these and practice them. You only need to practice them if they are giving you the signal by, being hot or tingly, that they require some attention. And so in that case, you would just go back to that email, or if you want, you could just copy the information from the emails that I have, sent so far and will be sending to a separate document, and just keep them for your own reference. And whenever you need it, you can just go and find it, right? And now we're covering everything because everybody is different, and so we all have different sort of combinations of the aspects of the subtle system that might be a little bit weaker and will have the tendency to get blocked. And so that's why we're trying to cover everything. But it is not very likely that any of you will need to use all 6 of these, left here, right here, center, left, right, and center. It is possible, but it's not very likely. Now, the use of the elements. So if just placing the hand on the center and asking for the inner energy to balance the center feels that it's not enough, then we use the elements. And so if we find that the right side is feels hot and tingly, or these fingers on the right hand, especially if you feel it consistently, if every time you sit to meditate this is what you feel more than others, then of course you would want to do foot soak. So the foot soak that we already talked about before. But if you feel that is not enough, right, and the tingling is not gone, what you can also do, you can use an ice pack. This is the ice pack I use. So it's just one of those things you buy at the store, like a pharmacy, and then I put it in a freezer. It freezes, and then whenever I need it, whenever I feel that especially the right thumb and the right middle finger are hot and tingly, I put it sort of in this area, in the area of the liver. I don't put it directly on the skin, I put it over the layer of clothes. Sometimes I just put it in my right pocket of the pants, and that works. And I keep it for 5-10 minutes. Sometimes I keep it longer, but don't keep it longer unless you've experimented with it and you feel that you need it longer, right? Just try to start with 5-10 minutes and then take it out and see whether it improves how you feel it should actually improve how you feel in the whole right hand. Because as I mentioned, the liver here is the main organ of the right channel. So if you cool down the liver a bit, the liver has a tendency to overwork because it has so many functions, and also because we don't treat it very well. And the liver is one of those organs that doesn't complain until it's in really, really, really big trouble. So the liver doesn't have a tendency to hurt unless there is something seriously wrong with it, right? But it does have a tendency to become overheated. And so if we feel a lot of heat and tingling constantly, especially in the right thumb and right middle finger, or the whole right hand, putting an ice pack on the area of the liver for 5-10 minutes often helps a lot. It seems like a simple thing, just changing the temperature a little bit, but it actually does work really, really well. Now for the left side, as I mentioned last week, we use, if the foot soak is not enough, and we feel that after the foot soak there is still heat and tingling in the left hand, and after the regular balancing of the left channel that we already covered a few weeks ago and also last week, it is still not enough. As I mentioned, you can use a bit of a candle, put your left hand towards the candle light. And this really also makes a difference. And we will probably cover a little bit more of these things as we go. I don't want to sort of overdo it in the introductory session, because ultimately it is not so much about what we do, even though doing a little actually helps, but it is more about what state we achieve. So our goal is to achieve the state of at least thoughtless awareness, right? At least that state, that initial state of meditation we want to achieve. And so whatever it is we do is only needed for us to get to that state. Once we feel that we are in a thoughtless awareness, we are not thinking and we are fully aware, we can just enjoy and let the energy work everything else out. We don't need to do anything extra, really. So that's why, this is sort of long enough of an introduction, I think, about these two energy centers and their relationship, and this area of the principle of guru, or the principle of self-mastery. I will stop at this point. If there are any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. And then otherwise, we will just start with our meditation. Let me move the slide. If you don't have any questions, we can start settling in, making sure we're comfortable, making sure everything's everything is in place for us. All right, so it looks like there aren't any questions. If there are questions at any point, please type them. I will address them after meditation then, if any questions arise. All right, now we will start with raising our energy. I see some names that I don't recognize. So if you are here for the first time, if you haven't been to these sessions before, then please just go along and see how it goes. Hopefully you will catch up. You can always go back to the first 2 sessions of this series and watch those if you have never been to any Sahaja programs before, and that should give you enough of introduction to continue with the series. But obviously you can do it afterwards. Today, just enjoy. So we'll all together raise our energy following the video.
Sit comfortably on a chair and relax. You may close your eyes if it helps you to relax and focus. Now, focus your attention on the top of your head. The goal is to raise your inner energy to the crown of your head and tie it up. As the energy rises up your spine, it will gradually shift your consciousness into the state of thoughtless awareness. To raise your inner energy, first place your left hand in front of your lower abdomen with your palm facing your body. Then slowly raise your left hand to the top of your head, and as your left hand is ascending, rotate your right hand around it in a clockwise direction, swirling around and around until both hands are above your head. Now, imagine that you are tying a knot with a short rope, and using both hands, perform the gesture of tying a knot above your head, as if you are actually tying up your inner energy. Now, lower both hands, and starting with your left palm facing your lower abdomen, repeat this process of raising the energy and tying the knot 3 times. The second time, tying 2 knots at the top of your head. The third time, tying 3 knots at the top of your head. This technique will help focus your attention and raise your inner energy to the crown chakra or energy center. The goal is to raise the energy, achieve a connection to the universal cosmic energy through your crown energy center, and establish the state of meditation. Now, you want to form a shield of protection to protect your subtle energy system and to preserve your ability to remain in the state of thoughtless awareness. First, place your left hand on your lap, palm upwards. Next, place your right hand beside your left hip. Slowly raise your right hand over your head and sweep it down the right side of your upper body. Then sweep your right hand back up the right side of your body, over your head, and down the left side of your body. Repeat sweeping your right hand up over your head and down 7 times to form a shield.
All right. Now we can place both of our feet flat on the ground, slightly apart. That is if you're sitting on a chair. If you prefer to sit on the floor, you can sit whichever way that works for you, cross-legged or otherwise. And we'll start by placing both of our hands open on our lap. And we can now close our eyes. Let's take a minute to observe what is our state right now. If there are still any thoughts bothering us, notice what are those thoughts. Are they future oriented? That is having to do with the right channel, or are they past oriented? Having to do with the left channel. You can also notice what is our emotional state. Are we agitated or restless? That again would indicate the right channel imbalance. Or maybe we feel down, we feel depressed or sad. That is an indication of the left channel imbalance. If we are neither, that's wonderful. Now let's see if we feel the flow of energy on our hands already. If you don't feel anything on your hands, you might want to be a little bit more diligent with your daily foot soak. Usually after a week or two of the daily foot soak, you should start feeling the flow of energy on the hands. Most people do. If you feel something but it's not very clear, you can always ask our inner energy or mother, please let me feel the state of my subtle system on my hands. Please let me feel the truth about myself on my hands. Now, if you feel the cool, gentle breeze, that is usually the indication that there are no major imbalances. But if we feel heat or tingling anywhere in our hands, in our fingertips, in the center of the palm, that indicates that there are imbalances in parts of our subtle system, which we can decode if we know which part of the hand corresponds to which energy center. Today we'll do something that normally you wouldn't do on your own, because normally you would not feel the heat or tingling in all the fingers having to do with second and third center. But just for the purpose of today's meditation or today's class, we'll systematically go through all the aspects of second and third center. And then we see if there is something still that we need to do above those, we will address that. So we'll start by keeping our left hand open on our lap. And we'll place our right hand on the lower abdomen on the left side. So you know this placement from the steps of self-realization. This is the left aspect of our second energy center. So if we feel tingling or heat on our left thumb, this is the energy center that is responsible. So again, it is the lower abdomen on the left side, sort of close to the area of our left hip. Or the area of the lower stomach that is closest to the left hip. And here we can ask our inner energy. This is our motherly energy, so we can also refer to this energy as mother if you want. Otherwise, you can just address as inner energy. You can ask, Mother, please balance this energy center. Please remove all the impurities, all the obstructions from this energy center. If you know the quality of the energy center, you can always ask for the quality to be established or to be awakened. So here we know from self-realization affirmations that the quality is pure knowledge. So we'll ask, Oh Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Or please awaken pure knowledge within this energy center. Mother, please balance and purify this energy center. All right, very good. Now we will place our right hand in the center, lower center part of our stomach area. So just at the very bottom of the stomach. The left hand is open on our lap. And here we'll ask again simply, Mother, please purify and balance this energy center. So basically, you don't have to know the quality of the center on the spot. Your energy knows the qualities, your energy knows the intricacies of the system. We just need to express our desire, and our inner energy responds to our desire and becomes empowered by our request. Oh, Mother, please awaken creativity within me. Please make me a creative person. Mother, please remove everything that prevents my creativity from being manifested, from flowing through me. All right, very good. We'll place our right hand open on our lap. And now we will place our left hand on the right side of the lower abdomen. So basically to balance the right aspects of the subtle system, we use our left hand. To balance the left and center, we use the right hand. So now the right hand will be open on our lap. The left hand is on the lower abdomen on the right side. Oh, Mother, please completely purify and balance this energy center. Please remove all the obstructions, all the impurities from this energy center. Mother energy, please awaken within me the quality of pure action. Please give me the ability to do whatever needs to be done. Mother, please completely balance my right Svadhisthana chakra. You can also refer to the Sanskrit names if you know them. All right, very good. We'll place our left hand back on our lap. And now we'll place our right hand on the left side of our abdomen, a little bit above, not quite as far up as we placed it in the self-realization steps. So sort of in the middle of the left side of our abdomen. Not the very bottom and not the very top, but the middle of the left abdomen. And here we can ask again, Mother, please completely balance and purify this energy center. This left aspect of the third energy center has a lot to do with our family and with our home. So this kindness and welcoming of the home that is a good home, family that's a good family, these are the qualities of this left Nabi chakra, the third energy center on the left. So here we can ask, Mother, please awaken the kindness in this left Nabi chakra. Please give me the ability to support and to love people that I live with. Please also give me the ability to genuinely welcome the guests who come to me, people I encounter from the outside of my home. All right, now we'll put our right hand right in the center of the abdomen. So right in the middle between left and right, between lower abdomen and upper abdomen. The left hand stays open on our lap. And here we'll ask, oh Mother, please balance and purify this energy center. Please awaken within me the power of sustenance and the power of evolution. Mother, please give me the ability to be balanced or to easily come to balance if I've been stretched out of balance. And please give me a strong desire to grow spiritually, to achieve my spiritual evolution, to become a better person, a deeper person, a more truthful person. Oh, Mother, please awaken within me the ability to recognize what is right and what is wrong from the inside without anybody having to tell me. All right, very good. We'll place our right hand back on our lap. And now we'll place our left hand on the right side of the abdomen, not too low, not too high. So in the middle, but on the right side. So the right hand on the lap, the left hand in the middle of the right abdomen, right side of the abdomen, the right side of the stomach. Oh, Mother, please balance this energy center. Please remove all the imbalances, all the obstructions from this energy center. Here we can also ask, oh, Mother, please cool down my liver. Sometimes we almost feel the heat like physically coming out from this area of the liver. By placing our left hand, we can channelize the balancing energy so that the liver becomes cooled off, cooled down. And also ask, oh, Mother, please purify my liver and please purify my attention. This right side aspect of the third energy center, the Nabi chakra, also is responsible for all of our public life, all of our work, our volunteering, our social engagements, so everything that we do outside of our home, outside of our family. So we can ask here, oh, Mother, please balance my work life. Please balance all of my outside commitments. responsibilities and projects. Mother, please give me the ability to achieve benevolence through my actions. Right? Very good. We'll place our left hand back on our lap. And now we'll place our right hand on the very top of our abdomen. So you remember how in self-realization steps, when we say I am my own master, we are working on the left aspect of the top, sort of the circle, the area just above the third energy center. Today we'll just place our right hand right in the center on the very top of our abdomen, of that circle. So basically just below the middle or the center of our diaphragm. And we can ask here, oh Mother, please balance and completely purify the whole of the void area in me. And please completely establish the principle of self-mastery in my void, in my subtle system. Oh Mother, please remove any attachments or any misidentifications that are challenging my principle of self-mastery. All right, very good. We'll now place our right hand on our heart. And here we try to leave behind all of our daily concerns. And remember that we are the pure self, we are the spirit. Mother, I am the spirit. Please completely awaken my spirit within me. Mother, please purify my heart. And please let me experience my spirit. All right, we'll place our right hand across our forehead. Mother, please awaken the power of forgiveness within me. When I say that I forgive, please let it come from my heart. Please let those words be sincere. Mother, I forgive everyone and everything. All right, very good. We'll place our right hand on top of the head. Can slightly bend our head forward and we'll move our scalp in a circular motion. Mother, please completely establish my self-realization. And please let me experience my self-realization first as a state of thoughtless awareness. And then please take me deeper into my self-realization. We can slowly place our hand back on our lap. And we'll stay like this for a couple of minutes. We don't need to worry about anything. We don't need to do anything anymore. Just allow our energy to flow, to clear out whatever else it needs to be cleared out. We just try and keep our attention on top of the head and see whether we can stay without thinking. All right, we can slowly open our eyes. Now we will all raise our energy again all together. So the left hand is going up, the right hand is swirling around the left hand. When we reach the top of the head, we tie a knot. Try to do it with full attention. You don't need to do it quite as slowly as in the video, second time. And then we tie 1 or 2 knots. Right, and the third time. 3 knots. All right. Now the left hand is open on our lap. The right hand goes to the left hip, and we move it over top of the head to the right and back. And we do this about 7 times. You don't really need to necessarily count, but you can if you want. Very good. And we still have a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the chat or comments. Now, the homework is from now on more or less the same. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we meditate, hopefully twice a day, at least once a day, and once a day combine our meditation with the food soak. And then at this point already you sort of know what to do when you feel that your whole right hand is hot and tingly, so your whole right channel is out of balance, or your whole left hand is hot and tingly. So you can balance the channels. If you feel any fingers, well, either the base of the spine, the base of the palm, or the thumb or the middle finger, you also already know what to do. So you can balance those as required, and try to not overdo the doing part. So try to leave more time for just staying in silence. Now in this session, because I'm trying to show you all of these things, I'm talking a lot and we do many things. When I meditate on my own, I do barely any of this. I do very little, and I try to spend most of the time just being quiet, just being silent. So this is something to practice. Now, something else I would like to suggest, that maybe this week, if you can, between today and next Thursday, see whether you can attend another live session. We have a session in the morning on Saturday coming up with Dave Dunphy, and then we have Monday evening with Shankar, and then we have Wednesday noon Eastern time that usually Leslie does this session, but this week is going to be done by Rajini. So please attend at least one more if you can. If you can't, that's all right, but if you can, see whether you can attend. That would be wonderful. And I'm not seeing any questions. I see something now in the chat. Shankar's Tuesday. Let me check the hour. What time it is. Just a moment. Okay, so no, so in December, the Tuesday session has been moved to Monday, so it's going to be Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is going to be guided meditation with focus on the right channel. So he moved it to Monday from Tuesday, and then he'll do 2 Tuesdays, and then I'll do the last 2 Tuesdays of December, and that will take us into the new year. All right. And all the other sessions except Thursday are in the previous generic link that all of you have already seen, so you can access them directly if you want. Otherwise, you can access them through the calendar, the same as any other session. All right, friends. So thank you again for joining me today. And we will see you next week. And enjoy the rest of the weekend and get good amount of time to meditate, because the holidays are upon us. We really need to meditate a little bit more to keep ourselves balanced. Good night to everyone, and we will see you around.